we're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight because I just had an idea pop into my brain and we have to share it, right? So I was talking with a friend and I want to talk about how self storage, you guys, is not dead, but easy storage is dead, and how smart storage is just getting started. And I want to put this and make it fun because people are like, well, where are we in the storage, industry? Where are we in the market in 2026? And at the same time, I get a lot of DMs saying, well, I know people are buying storage right and left. Like, have I missed the boat? And I always say, like, you have not missed the boat. But we are going to describe this in 3 different eras. And I want to do this fun because it is a Wednesday night, and why not? So we're going to talk about the Taylor Swifties, right? And the era period, right? So this is going to be really fun. And so what we're going to kind of talk about in the next 15 minutes is like, where is the self-storage market in 2026, and what does a transition mean in self-storage? And then where is the money on the table? Like, where is the value still to be had, or the opportunity in 2026 if you want to buy your first facility? I am going to be a little sassy. I am going to tell you exactly what I think and what's on my mind, because I think that is A, authentic, and then B, I hear a lot of these, overly positive people, and then I hear people with doomsday, and it's like, okay, what's really happening, right? Like, what's not your agenda? The market story from, you guys, my perspective and kind of where we are right now is, you guys, from 2020 to 2026. We're going to break this up into 3 eras. So from 2020 to 2022, I would like to call this the easy money, right? The love story era. In self-storage from 2020 to 2022, we had cheap debt. So everyone wanted to buy storage, right? We could buy storage at 3.25%, 4% interest rates. And so everyone jumped in to buying these facilities at really low prices, not looking at the market. And so we had people also, right, buying homes. And so the more people that buy homes, the more movement for self-storage, the better it is. So cheap money, right, easy money, meant that we had a lot of people moving into storage facilities. We could raise rates like, 40%, $10, and people wouldn't move out, right? And so we were hitting like 98% full. And it was just the easy money era, right? Like, easy money, you didn't have to be a good operator. And so, if you didn't need a great strategy, you just needed access. That's pretty much what this era was all about. And so I'm going to kind of spoil you guys a little bit. And so we felt very spoiled within those 2-year period. And then phase 2. Okay, era number 2, the reality check, era. So from 2023 to 2025 in self-storage, and if you're a Taylor Swiftie like myself, we say we are never getting that. We're never getting back together, right? We're never getting back together. Please sing that song. And so in this time period, you guys, like, interest rates like rose. We went drastically, like 2.5% in interest spread. Buyers paused. People stopped buying homes. And so this really hurt self-storage, right? So we were like on this high of easy money, and then we had this very big of a pause. Buyers, paused, people put their pencils down, sellers waited. They wanted this really high price when it really was worth X with a higher interest rates. And so there was this large gap. And so we had, not a lot of people raising their hands for acquisitions, and it was very slow. So it's just slower deal growth, right? And so this was definitely, we call it the quiet bottom, right? So there was really not a big headlines, no blood in the streets, but just like uncertainty, really. And so this kind of brings us into, 2026, which is the current era. And so this is the transition period, you guys, in 2026, moving forward is where we're at now. And we call this, in Taylor Swiftie land, the mastermind, the night, the midnight era. And this is very true because activity, you guys, in this transition point is starting to return. Interest rates are slowly coming down, right? Nothing loud is happening. It's not very obvious, right? So people are starting to kind of try to buy. Owners are raising their hands saying, yep, I want offers on my facility. I want to retire. I've been waiting for 5 years, and finally, like, it's time. It's go time. But it's not obvious. And so this transition period, you guys, in self-storage, which we are right now, is very much this quiet, strategic area where you have to be a good operator. You have to know, does this facility have value add, or does there money on the table? Can we raise rates? Can we be a more sophisticated owner and operator in this area where other maybe facilities, they don't have great websites, they don't have great sales tactics, they don't do good customer service. And so this is really a time period where, we are seeing activity come back on the market. Like the past 4 months, I've been cold calling, I've been talking with owners, we've been putting in offers, and we are seeing more storage owners actually raise their hands right now wanting offers than we have in the past 18 months, right? And so this transition period is really opening up, and this is where opportunity is going to be had right now, okay? The people that get in right now and put out creative offers are going to get great deals, and that is the cheat code, okay? You don't, and this is a great quote, I heard, I can't remember who does it, but you don't build wealth when opportunity is loud. Like, you build wealth when signals are quiet and capital is cautious. And that is very, very true, right? As long as we have a really good storage market and we are able to negotiate a price and a structure that actually allows that storage facility to cash flow, okay? So I'm now gonna talk about, so that was just very clearly simple. I wanted to make this simple, is that we got three eras, if you're a Swiftie fan. Era number 1, you guys, was easy money. Era number 2 was a reality check in self-storage. And era number 3 is where we are now in 2026, which is the transition, the mastermind era, okay? Now we're gonna move into, everyone's kind of been asking, what are the 4 layers of opportunity? Like, if I wanted to buy my first facility or my first 2 facilities this year in 2026, what is going on? Like, where's the money on the table? Like, how can I take advantage of this transition period? And so the 4 layers I want to talk about is kind of like a cake, right? So layer 1 of what we're seeing, which is a signal, is movement is returning, right? So movement means like people are starting to buy, houses, they're starting to move, sellers are starting to raise their hand and engage again, right? Deals are happening off market. Phones are ringing, and so this is definitely a period where it is helpful in self-storage when people move, right? When people have growth, when there's developments that are actually being finalized. That is really good for the storage industry, and storage owners do very well, okay? So layer number 2 of this cake is supply is constrained. Okay, so over the past, like in 2020, there was so much supply coming in the market. Like, there was overbuilt, right? And so this supply has been very slow, and permits have been pulled, but nothing has happened. And so you really have to call your city and call your city council, like, is this facility actually being built? Because the permit was pulled 2 years ago, right? So new development has slowed. Financing new builds is harder, okay? Because we had an explosion of self-storage. And then demand is slowly, kind of like appearing, okay? So this is a really important time, like where, supply has been constrained. And if you can find those good, solid markets, right, where there's growth and there's actually demand because of a self-storage product, if there is a recreational lake, if there is a data center, if there is, homes coming in that are big projects for multifamily because of a corridor or a highway, right? Like, that's the stuff that is prompting for being like, hey, demand is going to be here no matter what. Okay. And then opportunity number 3 for this layer is owners are raising their hands in acquisitions, right? So we have baby boomers are ready to exit. What did they call it? The silver tsunami. My dad would kill me if I said that. But he is a baby boomer, and he is like, I'm done. Like, I'm retiring. And so a lot of these storage owners that we're having conversations with right now are owners that are like, hey, I am, 68, 70 years old. I'm ready to retire. I've been waiting for 4 years because I didn't know this. There's a lot of uncertainty, and now I want to move on with my life, right? I have no succession plan. I have no family members that want to continue and take this facility over. And so therefore, I'm ready to exit. And so we've been seeing a lot of these owners raise their hand, and they're mostly off-market conversions because they want flexible terms. They own the property outright, and they're like, well, might as well. I bought it with seller financing. Why not make money, with my money and slow down capital gains? Like, super smart, right? Baby boomers are smart for a reason. And so this creates a lot of off-market conversions, flexible terms, seller financing, and real negotiations when you have conversations and build relationships. And so very important to take advantage of that opportunity. And then the fourth, you guys, layer to this cake is banks are tight. They are so nervous right now, but sellers are flexible. And so I think this is a very important time because this is great. I actually love this because this positions us in this transition moment that you can get good seller financing deals. And so we've been seeing like 40% of the transactions, even Storage School, are been seller financing, right? With great terms. And so that de-risks yourself immediately, right? And then that allows you to cash flow, from that structure. And so when banks are tight and they're nervous, sellers are more open to seller financing and they're more open to creative structures than ever before. As rates start to come down, right? As more that allows more competition to enter the market, and then sellers are like, no, I just want to get paid out, right? And then it's easier to go to banks to make that happen, but now you're paying higher prices because the floodgates of competition has opened up. Okay, so that is how this kind of works in this, in our cycles of self-storage. Banks tightening is not the problem, but it's the opening if you know how to structure the deal. And that's the biggest thing, is structuring the deal, making sure it cash flows. Okay. And so the question I get a lot of times is there still juice on the bone in self-storage? Like, can I buy a self-storage facility and will this work for me? And I want to say yes, because literally it is still 60 to 65% mom and pop, you guys, that own one or two facilities that are probably unsophisticated because they haven't had to have a need to increase prices or, look at all this new technology. They just are like, I'm making money. Why would I do that? Okay. So this is the opportunity, you guys, on this table is this transition period. And I know people are like, it's buy time. Absolutely. It's always buy time, right? But this is where the reality sets in. Like, this is it is a very quiet time right now where the strategic buyers are putting seller financing offers out there. They're having conversations, they're building relationships, and they're making deals happen. And so the people who are making deals happen right now are only going to benefit when that market turns. Okay. So I always say, you guys, to win in 2026, and this is true, is you need to be actionable. There needs to be an urgency. It's not like we're going to dabble in storage. It's no, we're going to go buy 1 to 3 good storage facilities a year that actually cash flow and that you can improve in 2x, right? Your income. And so strategy number 1, I just want to talk about it, is understanding the market phase. We need to be in a good market. It needs to have a demand in that market, okay? Not oversupplied. Number 2, target the right owners, okay? Talk to storage owners. That's what you need to do. You need to be having conversations every single week. I tell my students, like, literally 5 to 10 conversations every single week, real ones, not just voice messages. That's not a conversation. So numbers matter, real connection matters, engagement. People want to talk to people. Those are the baby boomers. Millennials like us are like, hey, can I text? I'm so scared. I don't want to talk. No, we got to talk to people, build relationships. And then number 3 is using seller financing correctly, right? We need to know the motivation. We need to create a win-win offer. We don't need to lowball people. We need to create motivation. We have to understand their pain points, and we need to submit something that they feel like it would benefit them, right? And then we need to know, like, we don't need to get hyped up, right? For self-storage. I always tell my students, we are not horny for storage ever, right? It's like, no, we are looking at numbers. We were looking at the numbers, and can we just make money? JMM, just make money is the key in our business, right? So do we have levers to make money in? And then number 5, we need to operate a self-storage facility like a professional from day one. And I can get on my soapbox and say that over and over again, but self-storage gets to be easy with no toilets, no tenants, no employees, less issues. When you operate it correctly, you put in the right systems, and right, that you need to check in. You can't be an absentee owner in order to win. You have to be a smarter operator now in this industry as we go through transition. So I know I talked a lot about different things. I get passionate about this, and I wanted to because I did do a state of the market self-storage webinar, and I was just, how do I say this? I was just in the middle. right? And I hate when people are in the middle. And I want people just to tell me, like, what are you seeing in this market? And how can I benefit from it, right? From being on the outside. And I want you guys to become owners like myself. I want you guys to have time freedom and to be able to, scale from, your home or wherever you are in the US and to have a family legacy. And so it's really becoming a storage owner, right? It's getting in, it's putting yourself, it's inserting yourself where you want to be now so that you are in stagnation and talking about wanting to buy storage 3 to 5 years later. So if you guys are interested, we are just opening up. Stacy Rossetti and I am so excited. We are partnering together on the storage deal room. So we are two experts with one mission, and the mission is to get you to become a storage owner. It's ownership, storage ownership. And so we help you actually white glove, like literally find facilities for you, and we walk you through the process to purchasing it and operating it. So if you are interested in this, this is something we are just opening up. We have 6 seats left. And so we start this cohort of students in the storage deal room on February 24th, okay? And we're gonna do every single week. We're gonna walk you through how to analyze deals, but we find the deals for you. And all what you have to do is say yes, no, or a number, okay? So if you are interested in joining the storage deal room, it's by application only. We don't take everyone, we're only taking 6. In this. And so if you are interested, just send me a DM below with deal room and I'll send you the application and we'll get on a call and see if it's a good fit. So have a wonderful evening. I hope you had some fun with this. Remember the 3 eras for self-storage in 2026, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.